Hello, everybody, and welcome to Artcheck. My name's Kayla. This is Emily. It's
Hi.
been a long
It's
time.
been a hot
It is.
minute.
It has been 3 months. Since we've been on here. Yeah, it's been almost 3 months exactly. Since November 15th, I checked, and then before that was October. So it's been a long time. But
Wow.
we're back, and this is our new schedule. Night is easier for a lot of our audience, but for us, just Tuesdays at 12 is kind of what it's going to be.
Yep.
It's going to be mainly a weekly art check. Sometimes we may log in on a Thursday, but mainly weekly. So it's not going to be 48-hour art check anymore. It's going to be weekly art check. So
Yeah.
we've just changed the name to art check. This is round 142 or 100, yeah, 142 or 143.
That's
So
cool.
we are super stoked to be back.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot has happened. And so we're just gonna jump right into Emily's like, yeah, quite a bit has happened. Um, and so we're just kind of gonna jump right back into the art and what we've created. So Emily, what have you done since our last art check?
There's a lot in there, and my brain doesn't know. But
Yeah,
here's
no,
some
it's been three
highlights.
months.
Yeah. Here's some highlights. Okay. So let me share. Okay. So, thing that I worked on most recently, like I finished this last night, was Corey Kerr, who, like, if you watch our show, then you've probably seen his content. He's been on
Mhm.
here before. Um, he's doing an animation. I made one background for that. So,
She accidentally removed herself, guys. It's been a while. It has been a long time.
I'm so sorry. Okay, so a thing that has happened since then, okay, I've taken my right-handed mouse and I'm using it on my left hand, which we will talk about that in challenges. But sometimes I hit this, which is the back and forward. I really need to remap that.
I
Anyways,
I just said, guys, it's been a long time since we've used this technology.
so I accidentally hit the back button and just went back. Anyways, let me share my screen again. Okay. I'm very carefully holding this. Okay, so made this background. Okay, like because this is for animation, everything is separated in layers. So like that hill, the sky, the cloud, that house, the dude on like the dude on the whatever that is, a car is like a ton of layers. So like his body,
Yeah,
his eyes, his arms, the
feels
steering
like the
wheel.
Lorax.
Yeah. I called him Fuzzboy. I have to name all the layers, so I named that layer Fuzzboy. um,
Fuzzboy.
and like all of this, like these little like joints, those are all
Mhm.
different layers too, so that like if there's wants to be bounce to it, like, you can do that. There's like a little mouse that is like at the lake. Um, and then like yeah, there's just a lot of layers in here. But yeah, I made it. I think the colors are really pretty, so I'm like, I like this. Um, okay, there's that one. Okay, what else we got? Oh, I made this. I shared this on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, then you would see that I did this. This is gonna be like down at the bottom of the episodes. Um, it's got like, this is the main cast, so it's got them here. And then the one I shared was like the two main characters together. So like I had them separated out so I could take the other characters out. Um, but yeah, and I made a reel with this, so I did like a time lapse and stuff.
Yeah.
This was really fun. I also just really like how this turned out. Like, I don't get to put the same care into like a panel as I do for an illustration. So like this looks a little bit zhuzhed up and nice. Um, and then I'm basically finished with episode 2. Here's all of it. 15 pages, in case you didn't notice. So it's taken
And
me
they're amazing.
thanks. So It's been a second, okay? I've only finished episode 2, which kind of scares me because that's not like an appropriate pace for
You didn't finish
releasing
episode
this.
1 yet?
This is 2. I finished 1.
Well, you said you've only finished episode 2.
Oh, like I've only finished 2 out of 54. You know.
Okay, there you go. I was like, Emily, you finished episode 1. Give yourself a little bit more credit.
That's what I mean by that. Only 2. So like I'm probably going to be splitting these up. So between episode 1 and 2, it's probably going to end up being like 5 updates. But I mean, like, when was our last Artcheck? Like, not our last
November
one, but
15th.
before hiatus.
I can tell you. Let me look it up while you continue talking.
It's been way too long. Like,
I'm aware.
Like, ideally, I should have an update a week, right?
Yeah. Oh, and my hair was bright red.
Your hair was bright red? Okay. That was our last, like, consistent?
October 25th. Yes, I think so.
October, November, December.
Yep, October 25th, because we did one on October 20th as well.
Okay. So let's just say the end of last month. So let's just say November, December, January. So like, yeah, like a solid 3 months and then some. Okay. So that puts me at like 1 or 2 a month at that rate. You know what I mean? As opposed to like 1 a week. Like I'm not finishing enough a week, but I'm also going to say episode 1 was like the first time I was doing it, so it was super slow anyways. So I am speeding up, which is good. It'll get easier and easier, which is why I'm doing the backlog, because it'll show the occurrence of a lot of different settings for the first time. So I'll get that down. Anyways, we're getting there. We're getting there. So that's what I did. I think that's really all I have to show. I've done very much more than that, but like I don't want to give away spoilers. I've done a lot of like studies and sketches and
yeah, we haven't shown our art checks on the internet just because we haven't had time or place or anything like that, but we have like gotten together more than once a week and seen each other's art as well. So we're just kind of showing highlights right now.
Yeah.
And not like everything, because I'm gonna only show 3 things.
Yeah.
But I've done a lot more.
Okay, what did you do?
So I got 2 commissions.
That's so cool. I'm so excited for you.
Thanks. So I did this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got this one.
Nice.
And then I started to learn illustration. And this is my little Spider-Man boy.
Nice.
I sat there and watched Emily draw for like
you were there for
minutes.
I was gonna say like no more than an hour.
Yeah, but I just watched her draw so I could like understand what she was doing and try and understand highlights and shadows. And so like, oh, what the heck? Why won't it let me do that? There we go. So you can see like there's actual shadowing on his arm and like under his face, on his arm here. Like I didn't understand any of that stuff, so we kind of did that. And you can see I'm not like using like a straight up brush anymore. Like I'm not using the monoline brush. I'm actually using like an
something with texture.
Yeah, something with texture. And then obviously this isn't done yet, but it's like it might be one of those things where I call it good enough.
I'm all about that. I do that every single day.
Yeah, it might be one of those things where I call it good enough. I know my Spider-Man I'm done with. I'm not going to try and mess with him anymore.
Yeah.
It's the background that I might want to kind of mess with a little bit more. Because I kind of like the way it's going, but I wanted to fill in the windows for some of it. And I have some goals. I just don't know what's going to come of them with it. So we'll see. But right now, I think I can hear Bruno. Now, right now I think this is gonna be probably calling it good enough.
Yeah. And
Which
that's fine.
yeah, which I never was like I'm gonna get into illustration. We were actually gonna talk about that, but I've been studying Emily draw and like all that stuff. So that's how I learned shadows. Was by watching her draw. So that's what I've gotten done. And then I've done like a lot of other stuff. Um, I really got into like drawing for my mental health.
Mhm.
And kind of like expressing it that way, which is why I'm not showing that just because like that's kind of personal. It's like showing your journal to a bunch of people. And
Yeah.
I'm just not like I don't want to do that. But there have been like a lot of drawings that I've done just on my iPad randomly that have have happened. They're just not being shown. I haven't even shown Emily, but they're there.
Yeah. They're like, they exist.
So
I mean, there's so much that I don't even show you. So like it's
yeah,
totally
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. But we have so there is stuff. And then challenges. You can go first because mine is big.
So so my hand is stupid. I probably talked about it last time too, where I was struggling with like the general health of my hand. That has been like a huge hindrance. Like even last week, I was like, my pinky hurts, I can't draw, and it was like that for
Yeah.
like 4 days. So that's really rough. I've learned how to use the mouse left-handed now because mice are terrible for hands, but I'm already like mine is so on the cusp of hurting all the time that I'm just like have given up on using it. I like barely type anything. Sometimes I totally exclude these fingers when I type, so I'm like type like this. Um, like a lot of workarounds. I've got like
Got like 4 braces.
arthritis gloves now and like a wrist brace. This is actually like amazing. It makes it so that like here doesn't hurt and like in here doesn't hurt because it like stabilizes the wrist and I can't do little motions like that anymore. Um, uh, that's like been the overwhelming challenge because, and then on top of that, like just busyness. Like I have 2 jobs right now. And then after that, I'm going to go full time. So like time constraints are rough. I'm really bad at doing stuff on the weekend. Like most weekends, it's like I don't do anything and I really should. So yeah, just in general struggling. And then I have one last panel to do in episode 2. But it requires me going and editing a 3D model and I just didn't want to get back in Blender, so I've been putting it off. And then aside from that, there's the matter of splitting up episodes. There's just some minor things I'm like, I just don't want to do that. And I'm working on the sketches for episode 3. I'm not done yet. So those are things that are like, I don't want to do those things, so I keep procrastinating them. It's much easier to like go in and ink stuff than sketch stuff and figure out what actually goes down. So yeah, those have been my challenges. The real big one has been my hand because it's been like
That's been huge.
That's been huge. I've been like I went on vacation in December and during that time it was like a week or something, but cushioned around that I also didn't draw. So like I didn't draw for like 3 weeks in December to rest my hand. Because it was so bad that like I wasn't doing other things with my hands that weren't drawing. Like cooking was like I can't do it today. So like basic things got painful. So I stopped. I had to stop for like a chunk there.
Yeah.
It's doing better now. So those have been my challenges for like for real. But like, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I guess I did produce a fair amount in the time considering the constraints and also that I took 3 weeks off. And like that doesn't exclude like, yeah, I took 3 weeks off and then it was Christmas. Like then it was the holidays. So yeah. Anyways, your challenges?
So I'm in the middle of is a legal battle a fair way to call it? So I'm in the middle of like a legal issue And up until the past 2 weeks, I didn't have a lawyer. I was doing it myself. I was doing it pro se. And so trying to represent yourself pro se in a legal matter is very, very hard when you're 22 and you don't know what's going on. And the lawyer knows that you're pro se. So it's just kind of like you're just getting taken advantage of. And so that's why Artcheck hasn't happened for 3 months. And then I wound up homeless for a little bit. I slept on a friend's couch for a month. And my life has just kind of been all over the place. So that's been like the biggest challenge, I would say. I feel like that's fair to say that that's the biggest challenge. And then other than that, I did start a full-time job, and that's actually it's not as big of a challenge as I would say it is because I can draw while I'm at work if I'm not on a call.
That's
And
nice.
so I got quite a bit of my Spider-Man done while I was like at work. I got like the background kind of figured out while I was at work. And so the full-time job has been like a constraint for some stuff because I switched from mornings to nights and that was like a rough switch to do. Even though I only worked mornings for like a week and a half, it was still rough.
I mean,
Because
it's weird working in the evenings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you start off, because I switched from a 6 a.m. shift to a 1 p.m. shift. And so that's just kind of been like a big uh, struggle for it. And then also just mental health, like when you're in the middle of a legal battle and there's a lot going on, then mental health is gonna tank a little bit. And so I think it helped my art because I actually produced stuff. But for a while there, I didn't even ever think about art as being like an outlet or anything like that. And so for a while there, I was just not doing anything creative at all. And then one day I like grabbed my iPad and I finally started drawing it. And that kind of got me back into it. So the mental health was part of it, but also I think it's a big part of what got me back into it. And then that's like what I think led me mainly back to Artcheck was okay, I need this again. Like this was always fun. And so because we didn't want it to end was the big thing.
No, it had to go on hiatus. Like
Yeah.
it had to.
Yeah, there was absolutely zero way for us to do it. And I remember we talked about it a few times. We were like, okay, this isn't ended.
Yeah.
We would just clarify. We're like, okay, we're going to come back to this. We're going to come back to this. And eventually I was like, okay, you know what? I have my own place now. I have my desktop set up. So we can actually do this. We figured out a time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, Artcheck was never meant to end. For anybody who's like, well, what the heck happened, you guys? It was never meant to end.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to keep on doing it, but there was no feasible way for me to be able to contribute. Emily would have had to do the art checks by herself. There was no way for me to join for the past almost 4 months, because we ended in October. For the past 3.5 probably months, there's just kind of been no feasible way. So that's just kind of been it challenge-wise. That's like long story short. That's the shortest way I could explain any of that.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna go with.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, anyways, next art check. We're doing art tonight. We're getting together tonight and doing a bunch of art.
When are you coming over?
5.
5. Okay.
Because isn't that when Tim goes to work?
He goes to work at he's going to work at 1:30 today.
Oh, well then
But
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you off the air.
But I have to. Okay, things I've got to do today, just today, are I've got to. That background that I did, I need to actually share that file with people so that they've got it. And then I need to fix that panel so I can say episode 2 is done. And I need to splice up episode 1 and 2 into updates. And I need to add the top and bottoms to those updates. So where it says thanks for reading and my handles and stuff like that. I haven't made that. So I have to do that. I don't want to do that, but I have to do that. And then It's all stuff I don't want to do, or it's hard. Like, not that I don't want to do it, it's just that it's like a challenge of like, because then after that, it's sketching for the next episode, which is just harder than coloring. It takes less time, but it's harder. And so it takes me more time because it's harder. So I have to do that. But between now and next week, to be honest, that might be all I've done, because sometimes the sketching takes me a second. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Maybe I will bring it into CSP and color it. By the way, oh no, I'll talk about that. Well, okay. By the way, this is like, I don't know if this counts as like a last art check or what, but yesterday, I don't know who to tell this to, and I'm really excited. Okay. The brushes that I have on Procreate on my iPad, they're like let's see if I can pull up that background that I did, which I got rid of already, so we're not pulling it up. The texture that I did in there, I love the brushes for my texture stuff, and I bought them. The thing that sucks is that nobody makes CSP brushes. Like, I just want to buy some brushes for Clip Studio Paint. Is that hard? Yes. Because they only make them for Photoshop or Procreate or Illustrator brushes, not for CSP, because the way that they work for CSP is totally different. But the people that made the brushes, they got enough requests and they made CSP brushes. So I bought them like instantly. I found out at work and I walked to my car faster so that I could buy them sooner when I got home. I bought them and I bought some more because it's very hard to find like brushes that are like what I'm used to in CSP, because it's all like manga style. There's a lot of smooth brushes and it works really well for that. Not so much textured things, so they're harder to come by. So I bought a ton of brushes. So yeah, anyways, that's just something I'm excited about. I'm probably going to play with them more between now and then. I already organized them and stuff, and sorted them into, like, I'm already thinking about like which ones can I bring into the comic, because I've been missing them so much. So yeah, that's another thing that I'm just going to do and I'm also excited about. But yeah, next Artcheck for you.
I've been wanting to do some type of illustration of our friend group. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I've been wanting to do something like that. It might just wind up being just a really simple faceless illustration, and that's just kind of what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But it might be that. I don't quite know. I'm gonna draw stuff.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. I was working for TEDx Rexburg. I didn't try and quit, but I think they thought that I quit, so I'm just not getting any assignments. So typically I would say that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna work on something along those lines of like drawing our friend group or drawing something, or you know, get just kind of figuring that out and getting that in there. So
Cute.
Yeah. So that's just kind of the gist of what my plan is. So
There's the train.
Oh, that means it'll be coming by here soon, won't it? You might be able to hear it.
I don't know what direction it's coming from. I always assume it passes by your place before, but
I didn't hear it.
It's loud.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, Emily and I live near each other again, everybody.
Yeah.
So kind of just like what happened. We've already kind of covered it in challenges, but not quite what happened there. But what happened to me and saying that I was never going to be an illustrator. And I was like, you know what? I'm doing Artcheck. And this was especially when it was you and Kylie. I was like, I'm doing Artcheck with these illustrators, and I'm never going to do it. And it's going to be completely different stuff from anything that they're doing. because I was like, I'm doing graphic design, and I'm doing like Illustrator stuff, and I'm doing minimalistic designs, and so that's kind of like where I was.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was kind of like, you know what? I'm done with that. Like, I think I've moved past that point in my life
Mm-hmm.
where like I'm kind of done. And so I was like, you know what can I do? And I was like, I know what I can do.
I
I was like, of
believe you.
course I know what.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, of course I know what I can do because Emily and I would sit there. I would sit on. She has a couch in her office. You can see it right behind her. And I would sit on the couch and I would just like watch her draw her comic. Oh, I also finally finished reading her comic. For anybody that's
Oh
been
yeah.
like, Kayla, what the heck? You said you were gonna finish it 4 months ago. I did it. Emily had to
Finish
sit
that
on
thing.
FaceTime with me.
I know. I like sat and watched you read it like a weirdo.
Emily was like, okay, well, first off, I want to watch you read it, but secondly, like, she needed to watch me read it because otherwise it wasn't gonna happen.
That's right. That's right. Okay, it wasn't just me being weird.
Yeah, no. So I finally finished reading it, but then I was just like, I would just kind of watch her draw, and I was like, that looks so cool. I want to be able to do that. And so I finally just kind of caved in and was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn to draw. And fun fact, guys, it sucks.
You know, you're
It's
right.
for a good cause, but it sucks.
It's like, well, like all the time. I'm like, this is hard. Like all the time. So like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, no, like it just completely sucks trying to learn how to draw. I like the same brushes that Emily uses, so that's fun. Cause that was an accident too. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm using this one." She's like, "Oh, that's the one that I use."
It's a
And I was
good
like,
one.
I'm using this one." She's like,
Yeah, you're using the same pencil, right?
"Yeah,
Yeah.
and the same inking
Yeah.
one, and I think and the same brush maybe. I don't know about the same brush, but I know
I
the
usually
inking
fill
one.
it in with no, I bought the thing that I do
Then
like
no,
the block out the colors with.
yeah, then no, we're not using the same one there, but we are using the same. I use the same inking little brush thing and the same sketch pen. Um, and so yeah, that just kind of has been a whole thing. The Spider-Man drawing came a long way. The Spider-Man drawing has come a long way. That you might look at that and be like, wow, that probably took like 30 minutes. No, that was like 4 days.
Because you were like, I drew this. Now I want to color it. And I was like, okay, you can. I mean, you could just draw more things and then pick one to color. And she's like, no, I'm going to color it. And I'm like, okay. Okay.
Like, if that's what you want to do, then sure.
Yeah. Because like my method of like, I'm learning how to do this is like, I'll sketch for a really, really long time and eventually bring it into something where I'm going to color it. But
Yeah,
just
no.
one of them or two of them.
Yeah, no. I'm the type of person where I want to finish one. I want to do it, I want to finish it. And then I'm going to move on to the next one. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
So this way I like can track my progress.
I definitely used to be that way, but then I was like, it's all for development anyways. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing until I feel like I've developed. And then I move on.
Yeah, I want to be that way.
I think it definitely took like, because in the beginning I had like, I wanted to finish things. And then I used to be like disappointed in myself when I didn't see a need to finish something anymore. But now I do that all the time. And it's great.
Yeah. I just need to study like drawing people more because I want to draw people. I can draw things. We had a whole discussion about this where it was like I can draw things. That's
Mm-hmm.
fine. I can do that easily. But and I can crank out sketches of that so fast. Like I had to do it. I also taught myself graffiti lettering. I
What?
forgot about that in the last Artcheck. I did. I taught
What?
myself how to graffiti. I showed you it.
You did?
Yeah.
I
I taught myself
really
how to graffiti.
I forget things.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I forgot. I taught myself how to graffiti letter. But So like I can do stuff like that, but then it comes to a human being and I'm like, no.
See, I love humans. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I'm like, this is not good. This isn't gonna happen. And so that's just kind of like a whole thing of, oh, okay, well, now I need to learn how to draw a human
Mm-hmm.
because I really want to do something like I want to do this. Like, okay, I'll show you my background right now. Like, I want to learn how to draw something in 3D like this.
Ooh.
Not this. I'm not saying I can draw to this level, nor will I ever be able to. But
You
like
want to draw
something like
something
where
with depth?
where it's like somebody's leaning forward.
Foreshortening?
What?
Foreshortening?
Yeah, probably. That's probably the word for
That's
it.
what that is.
Yeah. So I want to learn how to do like this. Because this is from a video game, I think. So ignore the fact that like it's actually a 3D object and all that stuff. But
Right.
I would like to learn how to draw something kind of similar to that. That type of like, oh, I want to learn how to draw where somebody's leaning forward. But first I need to learn how to draw faces and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, faces are a good way to, or good place to start.
Faces are awful.
I like faces. Well, faces are hard.
Faces, yeah, you like faces because you've taught yourself how to do them.
Faces are still hard. I still like mess up my characters' faces all the time. I'm like, why don't they look like the person? Oh, and then like the nose is too long, or I don't know. It's annoying.
Yeah, it's faces are rough. I'm trying to learn it. I learned by like tracing a few times and then doing it on my own, and then tracing a few times and then doing it on my own, and like that's kind of how I learn. And so I'm like afraid of tracing too much, but I like learn how my hand is supposed to feel when I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then because I know how my hand is supposed to feel when I'm doing it, it's like a muscle memory type thing versus like my brain thinks this and so now I can do this.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's how I learn, but I don't know. I'm dabbling in illustration. I'm not saying I'm an illustration.
Yeah, you're dabbling.
I'm not saying I'm like a diehard illustration person, but it is the only thing I'm doing right now.
But it is what's happening. So.
But it is 100% what's happening. So that's kind of where I'm stuck. Another thing for next Artcheck, I want to find like a video editing platform that's free online.
I don't know.
I know. But we did declare that I could do video
broadcast,
stuff.
Right?
Yeah, OBS is broadcast. But I use OBS. But anyways, I want to edit like my Twitch streams into TikToks. And like into a YouTube video. So there might be like some gaming YouTube videos getting uploaded on here. I haven't decided. But I don't really want to like start over.
Right.
I don't have 2 YouTube channels.
No.
And so I don't know how it's going to work out, but it will, and that's the important thing.
Sweet.
So, but anyways, yeah, there might be some gaming videos uploaded on here. I don't know yet, but I also might just make a completely new channel. I think that one's far more likely. But so I've like kind of left the graphic design minimalistic style. I've kind of left that a little bit and started coming over to the dark side. That's what I'm gonna call it. Yeah, Emily smiles like I got it.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because it wasn't like Emily set out to be like Kayla's gonna become an illustrationist or whatever it's called.
An illustrationist.
An illustrationist. That's a word now. Illustration artist. I'm just shortening it.
Yeah.
And so it's just what happened. It totally is just what happened.
Okay.
So anyways, do you have anything else to add? We talked about wrapping it up. So just to let you all know, this is only going to be like a 30 to 40 minute broadcast. Every so often we may go an hour and have a topic.
Yeah.
But it's not it's a very different it's the same format, but a different format at the same time.
Yeah.
And
Kayla
it's
has
just
to go to like work and stuff like right after.
yeah. So it's 12:40 right now. I have today off, but on most Tuesdays I will have to go to work at 1, so we'll have to stop at like 12:30. Today we have to stop at 12:45 for a different reason, but that's just kind of the gist of what's happening.
Yeah.
So, anyways, if you want to find my stuff, go to @thecomeback_KLD. There is a link tree down in the description below where you can go find my website, my Instagram, some other stuff that I really don't remember because I haven't touched my link tree in a while. But it's down there. It's down below at the _comeback_KLD. So go check that out. If you want to find Emily's stuff, updates on her comic, she's had some stuff shared on Halo since the last Artcheck.
What's that?
So go, yeah.
Really?
Pretty sure. So Halo has shared her stuff. So go check her out at Gumanelli. That's just her name. Like literally, look. I have my name. I'm a normal name, and Emily is not. Emily is Gumanelli.
Yeah.
So, and you won't find her if you type in Emily. You will never find her. You have to type in Gumanelli.
I don't think you will, because it like just occurred to me that like on Instagram stuff it doesn't say my name.
Nope.
Like I don't know if it says my name anywhere.
Nope.
That's not something I meant to do, but it happened.
Yeah, no, it doesn't, because I typed in Emily one time and I was like, what the heck, where is she? I was like, what the heck? And I was like, oh, it's going to be Gumanelli.
Yeah, it's always Gumanelli.
So yeah, there's also, I think it's like gumanelli.com/links down below.
Yes.
And so that'll take you there to all of her stuff.
My link tree is not a link tree. It's on my website, basically.
Yes. Yeah, it's on her website. I would like to do that one day, I think, actually, soon.
It's not hard. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, I know. It just takes time.
It just takes a minute, yeah, and that's the problem.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, I'm thinking of stuff that, like, I could have shown.
That's okay.
Whatever. I know. I did a bunch of website stuff, but anyways. Go to @Gumanelli, find her, follow her, keep updates on her webcomic, and soon she's going to have a content calendar and some marketing strategies done. And it'll be really cool.
Hey.
So follow her for all that stuff. With that being said, bye guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.